Speaker 1.
The original Clash of the Titans, which came out in the 1980s, is a classic. The story was easy to follow and, although it lasted nearly 2 hours, time went quickly while watching it because it was such good fun. I know the monsters looked awful because there were no computers, but it was still great. The new film is completely the opposite. The monsters are made by computers and look amazing, but the rest of the film, story, dialogue, plot, are awful.
Speaker 2.
I love The Original Italian Job. It's a classic British film, and Michael Caine has never been better. I went to see the new film, and I liked it, but I can't quite understand why they gave it the same title and had the same characters. I mean, nothing else is the same. The original was all about planning a robbery in Turin, Italy, which happened at the end of the film. This film started with a robbery in Italy, in Venice, but then moved to the USA. I liked it, but it wasn't really the Italian Job.
Speaker 3.
We watch Miracle on 34th Street every Christmas. It's a wonderful family movie. It's funny and sad and magical. I guess someone decided to remake it because it was filmed in black and white. It was a mistake. When I saw the remake, I was very disappointed, although Richard Attenborough was superb as usual. The worst thing was that they had taken all the laughs and comedy out of it and made it too serious for Christmas.
Speaker 4.
Ocean's 11 is an example of a remake that is better than the original. I never thought I would say that because I love the original and all those great actors like Sinatra and Dean Martin. The problem was that when they made it, they were at the top of their careers and didn't have to try too hard. And they really didn't. So, although the film is good, their acting is quite poor. Clooney, Pitt and the rest were totally professional for the remake. The only thing I prefer about the original is when the money gets burned and they walk along the street looking so cool as the film finishes. I was so disappointed to see them keep the money at the end in the remake.
Speaker 5. His Girl Friday is one of the funniest movies ever made. It's about an editor of a newspaper who needs his best reporter to stay and write about a murderer. The reporter is also his ex-girlfriend, who is getting married to someone else, and the editor also wants her to split up with her fiancé. The remake was called The Front Page and had exactly the same story, except the journalist was male. So the editor only had one reason to make him stay. Despite the fact that it stars two of my favourite actors, The Front Page doesn't really work because it needs the love as well as the journalism.